I was the last parent to have the parent-teacher conference, and the teacher said, "Every parent has wanted to know who Nikki is. My child says she's their best friend." I thought about that for a while. Being everyone's best friend. Hi, I'm Joanne Smith, and welcome. As we mature, we understand that most people are acquaintances. We have some really good friends, and maybe a bestie or two. Have you ever known someone that everyone seems to like? Maybe you're that person. My dad and Aunt Imogene they had a secret. They were listeners. Their questions weren't nosy or intrusive. They weren't trying to learn everyone's business. They simply asked thoughtful questions that helped them understand and appreciate another person's journey. As a nurse, I often ask a specific set of questions, but as a psychiatric nurse, I realized that my dad's and Aunt Imogene's focus on listening was what I needed to utilize, with an occasional redirect, especially when the patient started yelling. When you yell, you get caught up in feeling angry, and what you want to explain gets lost. I do want to understand what happened. Or something similar to that. The words changed to meet the needs of the patient. The one thing that remained constant, they wanted to be heard, to be seen, and listening to them carefully was the key. Have you heard the term word salad? It can feel like standing in front of a fire hose. Everything comes at you at once. When I listened carefully to the lady who had been driving down the road erratically, hitting cars like a pinball, and the police understood with the word salad they were hearing, she needed psychiatric help. She looked disheveled, confused, trapped. I could hear key words. No medicine. Days. Can't sleep. Mixed in with all the other words she is trying to say at one time, over 1.5 hours. Her psychiatrist came to psych emergency the next day to speak to me about her. How on earth did you find out all that information on her? I just listened, wrote down as much as I could, and then looked for a pattern. The downside for me, I've realized I became a talker in social situations. I too want to be seen and heard, and often forget to be more interested in what others have to say. It's been a challenge to break that habit. But those times I do quietly listen, ask questions that show the other person they matter, and that their story matters too, there's a stronger, more meaningful connection, and we both feel heard and seen. I'm Joe, your encourager. On Friday, we'll look at how one person's comment made a great connection for strangers.